Hey, it's Subat. This is gonna be the 5K Q&A. So, I just wanted to thank everyone for subscribing and watching the content. That's super awesome. I truthfully didn't think I would end up in this position in the 9 months that I've been making content now. You can subtract a month if you want to count my hiatus, I guess. But yeah, so I'm not going to do shoutouts, but I would like to thank Danny for helping me decide how I should record this. And I kept starting the audio by saying that I was Subaru, which is not the case. I'm just so used to that name that it was like the first name that I kept thinking of. But anyway, let's get to the questions that everyone left me. So, firstly, what actually got you started making ASMR? We all say we want to, but you actually did it. I don't actually know. I've been listening to ASMR for like maybe a decade now, so I think it might have just been like a way to kind of express myself, and I was just like, other people do it. It could be a fun thing to do, because like, I don't know. I don't really have the opportunity to put myself out there in any kind of way. And while this isn't like, I'm not putting myself that out there with this, I am still, putting a part of myself out there. And another part of it is just kind of like, I like the idea that I'm helping people with the content that I'm making. I like reading comments where people say that it helped them sleep or helped them feel better about something or this, that, that makes me feel pretty good. And I'm just glad that my content can have a positive impact on people. Anyway, hopefully that answered that question properly. Someone else also asked the same question, kind of, by, they said, why do you do what you do? What got you into making videos? So, I'll include their question, but also I kind of answered that with the last one. Next, why did you turn me into a puppy girl? It was just, the first course of action, to be honest with you. I just knew when I started making content that I needed to convert as many puppy girls as possible, so, yeah. Next question, bark or bork? I'm gonna have to go with bark for this. No particular reason, but it feels right. Next is meow or meower. I think I'm more leaning meow on the regular, so we'll go with that. Next three, we got a three-parter, is how did Subat? Subat did pretty good, I'd say. Looking at everything as of now, I'd say Subat did pretty good. Next is, why is Subat? Subat just kind of is. No particular reason why, but, And the last part is, when is Subat? Subat is whenever Subat wants to be, I'd say. And we have a follow-up to those three, which is, how is Subat? And I'd say Subat is doing about as good as they can be. So, thank you for asking. This is a question that I've gotten a lot, not necessarily in context of the Q&A, but just across YouTube and during streams and in the server. So, what's up with the pronoun stuff? Basically, I started making content, and I was in a patch where I was like, navigating my identity, and during that process, I came to the conclusion that I was trans, and that obviously kind of clashes with the content that I make, but most people have been good about, respecting my pronouns outside of, the content, but it's in my YouTube bio, whatever, when you listen to the ASMR, I'm whatever gender you want me to be, whatever helps you enjoy the content more. But, outside of that, the people that have gone out of their way to address me respectfully, it's appreciated. With that being said, I actually plan to maybe make a second channel for stuff like that. I'm voice training a bit. I don't use any like voice training stuff for my audios really. But for the second channel, I would like to voice train and have that be its own distinct thing so that I can, continue making both sides of the content. I think at some point that might become my more focused channel, but I think it might be too much to kind of stock everything into one channel, at least for me personally. So keep an eye out for that. I'll mention it when it does happen. I don't know when it'll be, but it'll be at some point. Next question, is there anyone who you look up to in life or someone who you aspire to be like? Dang, this is a generic question. That was also part of the question. So, I would say I look up to my friends, actually. I look up to my closest friends. One of them is doing a lot in his life, as far as his career goes, and he just kind of jumped into it, and seeing someone just kind of go all in and succeed and still be that same person that I met in high school and still be such a great, just overall human being is inspiring to me. And he's very, we're on the same kind of wavelength as far as things go, but I'd say he's got a better grasp on certain things that I would like to have a better grasp on, just in the way that he approaches life in general. But yeah, and then my other friend, I would say I look up to her and just a good female role model for me. Just in the way she carries herself and the way that she is. We're kind of the same in ways, but she's more outgoing, even though it's difficult. But she kind of takes the plunge when it comes to things, and I wish I had the drive to do that. And just day-to-day life, it's very difficult for me. So I'd say I wish I had those qualities that they both have, and I aspire to be like both of them in some ways. Next question is ketchup, yes or no? On certain things. I like it in fries, but I feel like there's so many other sauces now that just, you go places and they have their own sauce. You don't really use ketchup that much, but when I'm at home, we have like the spicy Whataburger ketchup. Very good. We use those when we make things at home that require ketchup. I haven't used it in a few months, but when I do, it's really good. Next, why are you named Subat? So this question isn't that interesting. The answer is kind of like, there wasn't a lot of thought put into it, but basically, I'm named Subat because I made a Reddit account forever ago. It doesn't exist anymore, but I did. And it was called Subatomic Pastry. And I had that account, and I was like, well, I want to make ASMR content on YouTube. I need to think of a YouTube name. I really suck at coming up with names. And, I just saw Subatomic Pastry, and I was like, let me cut off half of that. And I just got Subat. And I, capitalized the S and capitalized the B and called it Subat. It wasn't ever meant to be in reference to bats. But here we are, So that's the lore. Next up is favorite Pokemon or Pokemon type. My favorite Pokemon is Absol. Just such a cool design. I've loved Absol for forever. Couple other cuts in the Pokemon catalog would be Houndoom or Houndour. Just love that Pokemon design. I like Serperior. I think that's it. Or Surviper. I can't remember. That might be two different Pokemon. But it's the little plant type one that's like a little serpent guy. He's really cute. Yeah, those are my favorites. I also like I can't remember the name. It's the Lynx, like Soul Lynx. It's like a sun kind of based. Shinx, that's the name of the Pokemon. Shinx and all the evolutions of Shinx. I am a fan. Next question, how did you name your cats? So I named Oliver because of Oliver Sykes, the singer for Bring Me the Horizon. My partner at the time, her favorite band was Bring Me the Horizon, and when she had passed, I wanted a way to kind of honor her because I didn't really have anything at the time that I could really look at and have that connection anymore with. So I decided to name my cat Oliver. You know, that's really it. And then my other cat was named by my brother. Just named her Pepsi. Nothing special there. That's just her name. So, next question. Aren't you a furry? I'm not a furry. Believe it or not, I'm not. I actually have little knowledge on furries that I have only gained as of recently because of people in the server that are furries. I genuinely have zero knowledge prior on anything furry related. I do love the furries though. Next question is, why are you a furry? I'm not sure. I just kind of ended up here, I guess. Anyway, next question is 6'7" or 6'1". I'm gonna have to go with 6'7" because that's just the original, you know? I'm a big fan of the originals most of the time. Next question, do you listen to ASMR yourself? And if you do, which types are your favorite? I do listen to ASMR myself, and I'd say my favorite types are just about the same kind of content that I make regularly on this channel, but, you know, from other creators, obviously. I like more trigger-focused content as well. That's kind of what I got into when I first started listening to ASMR, so I still have a sweet spot for it. But, yeah, I'd say those are my favorite types. Like, role plays more centered on realistic, like, partner scenarios, and content that is mostly trigger-focused. My favorite color. My favorite color is pink. And I would say you can pair that with black, because black was my favorite color for a while, but I could really go with either of those. Next question is a hot dog a sandwich? I would say that a hot dog is a hot dog, but I guess... Okay, I took a breather for a minute to think about this question, and I would say, you know, it could be a sandwich. I was gonna say that since the bun is connected and not two separate pieces, it couldn't be a sandwich, but if you were to take a full fresh loaf of bread and cut one thicker slice and then cut that slice almost in half but leave it connected and then prep a sandwich that way, it would still be a sandwich. It would just be connected at like the end of the bread. Still. So, you know, I feel like a hot dog could be an honorary sandwich. Next is bread loaf a sandwich. it's just bread. I feel like for a sandwich you need multiple kind of ingredients to work together. So I won't give bread loaf the sandwich title for this one. Can you do tika tika sounds for us? Sure. Okay. Shout out to Danny again for that. Do you ever get tingles from listening to your own audios? No. Well, one time, I think. But I don't usually listen to them after the first time when I'm editing them. So, yeah. But there was one, and I don't remember what it was for, but I did. So that answers that question. Next question is, do you speak multiple languages? I just speak English, and I speak a very minimal amount of Spanish. I could understand a handful of words, maybe a couple sentences that will get, that can trigger my high school Spanish class memory, but it's not very much. And the follow-up to that is someone asking, how many languages do you know? Are you planning on learning any more? I only know English fluently. I would go back and learn more Spanish. I could probably have my friend teach me a lot of Spanish since he's well-versed in it. But, yeah. Next question is, what is your favorite show or anime? Probably for show, I'd say Haunting of Hill House. I think that show is just really good overall. I don't know, it's pretty freaky, but I don't think it does it in a way that makes it, like, overdone, And then, I'll do, like, an honorable mention to You and Lucifer. As far as anime goes, my favorite anime ever is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Just a good anime. A lot of characters with a lot of aura. You'll cry a couple times if that's like your thing. I know I did. And I'll throw in 4 extras for like a top 5 with Death Note, which is just a classic. It's popular, it's good for a reason, I mean. And Seraph of the End, great anime. I watched it in elementary school, I think, due to a friend's recommendation. One of the first ones I watched, but I remember it fondly. It's been a while, but a lot of characters that I really liked. Fate, any of the anime in that series. I started with Fate Stay Night, but I just remember enjoying it when I was younger. Really good. And a more recent pick would be Bungo Stray Dogs. A lot of characters that are great. Twist near the end is really enjoyable, I'd say. Maybe some plot holes, but I think overall the anime is still pretty good. Next question is, what is your favorite movie? My favorite movie is Pulp Fiction. Just really good. I'm pretty sure that I referenced it in one of my other audios, and I got the character's name wrong, which is embarrassing, but it's okay. And The Mummy is also another one that I really liked. More of a nostalgia thing, because I watched it growing up, but yeah. I'd probably also throw Sinners on that list. I know it's newer, but I can't recall any recent movies that have really hit me like Sinners hit me. And, I don't know. It was just a really enjoyable movie to watch. I watched it with my friends at the theater, and I cried a couple times, and it was really just nice to see a film that incorporated horror elements, but, like, it was a lot deeper than that. It wasn't your run-of-the-mill horror film, and I really did like that. It switched it up, and, like, the cultural aspects and stuff, that's, like, super cool, and the musical aspects. Yeah. Next question is, what's your favorite movie that nobody ever seems to talk about? So an underrated film, Um, I'm gonna go with. I feel like I don't watch a lot of like movies that aren't popular, but I'd say Transformers 1 is underrated. Barely had any promotion and like no advertisement, to be honest, and it was just so good after like the Bayverse, stuff that we've been getting nonstop that has just dipped in quality. But even if you're not a Transformers fan, Transformers 1 is just a good, enjoyable film. So give it a go. Um, Next question is favorite genre of TV movies to watch. As far as TV shows go, I like thriller stuff that kind of keeps me guessing what's gonna happen. You know, like You was just a great show for that for me. And for movies, I like horror films a lot. Um, I'm a bit of a horror like nerd, I guess. I'm not super into like all of it, but I do enjoy watching just a bunch of different horror movies and just kind of like taking that in. Like, I went on a huge horror spree a couple years back, like Gerald's Game, great movie. Just, I like seeing different interpretations and takes on horror. Weapons was a really, really good movie, super fucked up, but really good. So, yeah. Um, did you ever fall into Minecraft, Fortnite, Pokemon, or World of Warcraft? I fell into Minecraft when I was younger, and I don't really play it a whole lot now. I play it occasionally, and then I play Fortnite pretty regularly with my friend, but I don't get on it unless it's with him, because I just don't have the drive to play by myself. Are you more flowers, fungi, or rocks? I would say rocks. I like a cool rock, like a shiny rock, or just like a rock with a cool pattern, anything like that really, or like a smooth rock that's like really nicely shaped. Favorite nonsensical word? This isn't really one I came up with. I'm sure someone did it before me, but I took the word for sure, and like everyone says for show, and I was saying that for a while, but I started like saying fashaz, and it sounds really stupid, but I think it's funny, so I'd go with fashaz. Next question is cheeseburger when? I'm not sure. Cheeseburgers are on the horizon, but I don't know when that'll be. Next question is where can I get that one bathroom tapestry? I'm not sure. It was kind of built into my apartment when I came here. It's been here for a minute, so you're probably not going to find it anywhere else anytime soon. Next question is when you're recording your videos, do you have a script or do you just freeball what you're going to say? It kind of depends. I like to script out some stuff, but also, I usually just do like footnotes or an outline. I like to have points that I know when I'm like breaking and then I'm going to shift to the next section of the audio. I know my channel is more saturated with run-of-the-mill, straightforward praise audios. Those I don't script, I just kind of go for it. But actual role plays, those are, I just kind of like put the points that I want to do, and I run through them and just fill in the blank space between each main point. Just, getting from one checkpoint to the next, really. And then when it comes to custom audios, I do script those out mostly to the T, because I just like to make sure that what I am, giving the person that bought the custom, I like to make sure that everything is how they wanted it, or as close to how I have envisioned what they want me to do for them. So, yeah. What was your first experience with ASMR, and have you traveled? Where would you go? So, to answer the first question, my first experience, I was like 9 or 10, and it was just like the popular artists at the time, like ASMR Darling, I think Jelly Bean ASMR. There's another guy I don't remember. I think his name was Fast ASMR. but I feel like I'm misremembering the name. But yeah, those, I think GB might have been coming up a little bit after that too. So it was mostly just trigger-based stuff, but yeah. And then, have you traveled? Where would you go? I have traveled. I have traveled to about 30 of the states in the US. Basically all of like the left side of the country and all like the bottom of the country and a bit through like the right section. I've never been to like the full top right area with like New York and all that. And I've never been to the very top of the US. And I've never been to California. I kind of gone all the way around California, never actually there. But yeah, as far as places that I would like to go, I'd like to go to Australia because, I don't know, it just looks cool. Like, it would be a fun place to go. And maybe, like, probably just a couple of the other states I've never been to. I would rather, like, I'm not really a big traveling kind of person, but that's probably my answer. So, next question is favorite RPG simulation style game. Easy answer, it's gonna be The Witcher 3. That's just one of my favorite games of all time. It's, the combat might be a little outdated, and I can get why some people don't get into the game and don't like the game, but for me, like learning potions and like collecting every potion and maxing out every potion and my armor and all that, I even got all the master crafted and grandmaster armor. It was a game that I just felt like I had the drive to complete. I got the platinum trophy. All of that shit took me like 2 hours. Like 250 hours, I mean. And I don't regret it. Next question is Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing? This is going to be hard to hear, but I've never played either of those games. I've never played Animal Crossing because I don't have a Nintendo. I think it's a Nintendo exclusive, but yeah. And then I have never played Stardew. I booted it up because I was supposed to play it with two of my friends, the two that I mentioned earlier in the video, but it just never happened. So I have it installed, I booted it up, I loaded in, and I stood there, and then I never played it again. So I mean, as far as what I've done, I'd say Stardew. What's your favorite thing about ASMR, and what do you like to do in your spare time? My favorite thing about ASMR would probably be just the amount of stuff that we get. We get so much content that caters to different people. All of those different styles are very helpful for multiple individuals, and I like that. I like that everyone can kind of find their niche and what they enjoy. And as far as me personally, I just enjoy the fact that it helps me sleep. So, and then for what I do in my spare time, I play guitar, I collect figures, occasionally I'll read, listen to a lot of music, generic answers, I guess. And I play games occasionally as well. Not as much as I used to, I just don't have the time, but yeah. Next question, a bit in the same vein. Any hobbies you enjoy outside of audio-video creation? I play guitar. I like to go a little bit more in depth. I like to learn a lot of just what kind of piques my interest when I hear a song and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'll go home and I'll learn it, or I'll make a note to learn a part of the song, stuff like that. Yeah. Favorite ASMR trigger? Okay, so might be a mixed opinion on this, but me personally, I like the sound of like lotion. I like how it's kind of crinkly, but it's not like crinkly plastic, I'm really, really picky with that sound. It can either be really annoying to me or really good. It completely depends on the ASMR creator that's doing them. Flota, I think that's how you pronounce her name. It might be Fiota though. But Flota ASMR does it the best in my experience. She's got like 2 or 3 videos that she does it in. I wish that she had some where she didn't talk, but her voice is really nice, so that's okay. Um, I also like certain mouth sounds, like the one that I did earlier in the video, and like and just tongue clicking noises, but it has to be done a certain way, mostly like, the last one, or it can be very annoying. Lynn ASMR is the goat of any sort of mouth sounds ever. She's my go-to for that. And I think everyone kind of enjoys like kissing noises. They're just relaxing. So I like when those are kind of thrown into a variety of audios that I listen to. Next question is, are you more of a monochromatic palette or color pop and odd accessories? Honestly, probably monochromatic. I don't like to do too much color-wise. It's mostly black stuff that I have. I got some grays and some blues and some pinks, though. Usually I have my black jeans that I wear everywhere, and I'll just kind of throw whatever t-shirt I'm feeling. I do have some accessories, like I'll wear a necklace or a bracelet, or mostly just that. And I do have some like bluish gray shoes that I do like to wear, some Converse. So that's like my normal go-to shoes, but overall my colors usually balance out to more of like a darker overall outfit. Yeah. Next question, do you think you would survive a zombie apocalypse? If yes, what's the weapon of choice you steal and the weapon of choice you create? Probably gonna die, I'm not gonna lie. I have the strength of a freaking avocado and not the seed, so I'm probably getting clapped not far into the apocalypse. Especially lately, I lost all of my strength for the most part, so as far as the weapon, I'm stealing a katana because that shit is cool. I am gonna be swinging a sword around. If I'm gonna die, then I'm gonna make sure that I get to throw hands with a sword while I can. As far as the weapon I create, I'm probably gonna tie another katana to the other katana, and I'm gonna have a dual katana. Most likely I'll cut one of my limbs off or something, but at least I'll look cool when I do it. What is your favorite subject in school? It was always ELA, English Language Arts, mostly just like reading and writing. It got boring after a while, but I look back on it fondly. I am not a fan of math. I do like trigonometry. That shit was fun, like cosine and sine and all that stuff, and tangent. Those like equations were really fun for me, but overall I don't like any of that stuff. I'm not a math fan. But yeah, like reading and writing about things, and like especially when we were allowed to get creative, that's when I really, really enjoyed the courses. Next question is, are there any new songs that you've been listening to? As far as new music goes, mostly like the new Hail the Sun album. That album's pretty good. The new Currents EP is really nice. We haven't gotten a whole lot of new music this year, but last year we got a new Spirit Box album. Really great album. I listen to it, sometimes I'll just throw it on to throw it on. As far as like what I've been listening to recently, mostly just trying to listen to every Alexis on Fire album. I finished listening to all of the Gojira albums. Really great band. I've been sleeping on them for years, and I am like mad at myself because of how good the music is. So I definitely recommend those two. And my normal rotation is mostly Hail the Sun as well, and Periphery. I'll like kind of bounce into them whenever I don't really know what to listen to. Next question is favorite artist. My favorite artists are probably Periphery, Trivium, Hail the Sun. I like a lot of proggy bands, stuff that kind of keeps my ears and my brain invested. Probably like, I do like Dying Wish. I like the classic metalcore vibes, stuff like that. Like just things that have like cool riffs, Architects is a good one. I like their older stuff. Their newer music is fine. Um, but yeah, that would be like a rough top 5. What star sign are you, or just your birth moonstone if you don't want to be that specific? My star sign is Aries. I don't know my birth moonstone. I think it's a diamond. I might be wrong. But yeah, I used to be really into astrology, but I've just kind of like, I don't know. I'm not interested. I think it's cool though. Strength or dex? I usually go dex for first playthroughs. I just like to have like a fast weapon. It makes me feel like I'm not being like held down. And then subsequent playthroughs, I'll just get like a big ass sword or like something that looks cool that's a heavy weapon for strength. Next question is LeBron or Michael Jordan? I actually answered this in the server because Kobe. We love Kobe. Shout out Kobe. As far as like this question though, LeBron most likely. I'm not super into NBA stuff, but just from what I've seen, in general, I'd have to go with LeBron. Next question is, how did you get the idea to create your own channel, your first video? Have you been inspired by anyone? The idea to create my own channel was mostly just like a spur of the moment thing. I think I answered this earlier in the video. I'm recording across 2 separate days, so just because I had noise that kind of didn't go away. But the idea to create my channel was just I want to do something YouTube related. I've always wanted to. My first video was recorded on my iPhone through like my headset that I plugged into it. It was literally just like the Apple wired headset. And yeah, it's pretty crappy quality, but you can still listen to it. As far as who inspired my channel, probably like mostly the creators that I still listen to. Like I'd say Cover Girl. I don't listen to her a whole lot anymore, but her like thumbnail style, very simplistic. Mine's more simplistic, but hers is very like a good balance between simplistic and not like nothing's going on or like too much is going on. I will admit my thumbnails are pretty lazy. I'm trying to work on that being different, but we'll get there. Other creators like let me think. Just your run-of-the-mill creators like FigFug. I listened to their content a lot prior to creating the channel. Creators like Umbra and Octo, mostly like that last wave before I really started to decide, okay, this is something I want to attempt to do. Creators like Living Zombie 9, her content is fantastic. Yeah, I would say those are the standouts for me. But I've since gotten into a lot of other creators that I really do like. I like to just find like really lesser known channels and just, I like seeing them grow. Also, shout out to Wobbles. Her channel was the first channel that I saw before I started making content, or right after I uploaded my first video, and she's been like super motivating for me, I'd say. Not in the sense that like, I don't know, but just like having someone that I can talk to who's also a creator and also uploads content, it makes it more enjoyable, I'd say, as opposed to if I was just doing it, like coming home, recording, uploading, and then going about my business. Having someone that I can talk to about that kind of stuff and just YouTube things is very nice to have. Next question is favorite soft drink. I haven't drunk a soft drink in years, but probably I remember really liking root beer when I did drink, and root beer is just a great pick. I like Diet Coke as well. I used to drink that a lot. But yeah, favorite like general drinks. I like lemonade. Lemonade's nice, and water. I mean, that's like my default drink though. Yeah. Favorite flower is probably the gladiolus flower. I like the color combinations that you can get out of them. Like orange and white is like such a nice mixture. White and pink, those kind of vibrant like colors that just look really nice, even though I'm not like super into vibrant colors all the time. But in the context of a flower, that's really, really nice to, appealing to me. Next question, will you ever face reveal? Not anytime soon. I don't plan on it. Not for any particular reason other than the fact that I like that people that listen to the content can kind of put their own face to me. Whatever helps them, enjoy it more. Reiterating the point I made earlier, so yeah, I mean, if it happens organically, then yeah, but not anytime in the foreseeable future. Next question, what's better, fluffy dragons or scaly dragons? This feels like a question that has a preferred answer. To appease the dragon gods, I'll have to go with fluffy dragons. Another question that I got was, any advice for someone wanting to start their own ASMR channel? Honestly, just make the content that you want to make. For me, I started doing like a ton of praise audios and I got burnt out. So if you're like doing the same thing over and over and it's not fun and it gets monotonous, then you're not gonna want to make the content that you wanted to make in the first place. So honestly, just do the stuff you want to do on your channel that is fun for you, and be passionate. Kind of let your personality come through if you're looking to build community with people, which is what I try to do by responding to comments and stuff like that. So you don't even need like an expensive mic. You can just use a cheap mic, like a little headset mic. I used my phone for a bit, like I said earlier. You can use anything and you can still make content that's good. I know a creator that films on her Android, I think, and the quality's nice. I enjoy it. So don't feel like you need to drop like a bunch of money initially. You don't have to. But yeah, that's the advice I would give. And the last question is, how long did this take to record? As of looking at it right now, it took me 41.5 minutes across 2 days. I'm thinking this will take maybe another 20 to 40 to an hour to edit and put onto the channel. So give or take an hour and a half to 2 hours total, which I feel like is kinda standard for some content. A 40-minute audio though, that's gonna take me like, if I were to listen to it all the way through, it would take me about an hour or more to edit completely. I don't know if I'm gonna listen to this audio all the way through though. Anyway, that was the last question that I got. This audio is running a lot longer than I thought it would. So, yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you to those that submitted questions. Thank you for watching the content when I do upload. And thanks for being supportive. I truly appreciate like the community that I have fostered here. It's really positive for the most part, and I am grateful to have that. So I hope that you lovely, lovely people have a great night or a great day, or if you fell asleep to this, I hope you're sleeping well. I love and appreciate you, and I will see you in the next audio.